Hello folks, welcome back to our next analyzing your game scenario. This game was sent in by Resignb4uWhine quite a while ago, so I feel a little bit ashamed for not analyzing it sooner. A very interesting game on this 1700 level with quite a number of inaccuracies in the opening, and then a very exciting battle emerged where black managed to conduct a very nice attack. So I'm going to analyze it for you. Those who are on this level watching this video and would like to learn the ins and outs of this opening, this little analysis you will find rather useful. Black played in this position h6. It is an absolutely useless move that you would never want to make in this opening, because the point is that it stops bishop g5 pin, which you totally don't need to stop. So you play knight f6, and if the pin comes, you just kick it out, and if they go back, you kick it out again. Bishop draws back, d6, and I have got an utterly stupid bishop here. And of course, yes, this king side is very airy, but no one said that we have to castle there. You simply develop the bishop to e6, queen comes out here, we castle that way, and black is very, very comfortably ahead due to the fact that this bishop is really, really, really stupid. This is a typical case of defending against something that is not threatening. Basically, opening principles dictate that you need to control the center and develop pieces, and when your moves don't do at least one of them, then it means that you should not do it, regardless of what the heck is going on. Alrighty, so h6 really bad, but excusable. d6 was fine. h3, same applies as before. a6, another rather useless move. I especially don't understand this one because there's nothing that we want to go to b5. The bishop capture is covered by the pawn, so I'm totally lost on why this move was played, and likewise on a3. So actually these are four very gross errors on both sides. None of them make any sense. I really would like to emphasize that this is a total waste of time on both sides that should have been actually exploited, but they just copied one another. But again, I am a little bit harsh on this one because I tend to be harsh on pointing out opening mistakes, because otherwise people don't learn from them. Okay, so now we are in an identical scenario, as in the position is totally symmetrical, and you want to avoid, as black, to have both of these bishops under attack at the same time. The reason behind that is because now I can take both, and this pawn structure is very shaky for black because we have got now two sets of double pawns, and in particular the e-file ones are really, really weak and vulnerable because they don't have any pawn support behind them. So this is not a good scenario to be in. So in this position, perhaps take on e3 and then bishop e6 would have been more sensible. Okay, bishop drop back, castles, knight d5, yeah, knight d4. These are a bit funny moves, but alright. I suppose in this position I would play c3 as white, just forcing the knight to take and bringing my queen out here, but they decided to castle instead. Knight takes, same as before. c6 would have been a lot better, forcing white to take, and then queen takes, developing black's queen. So now white plays c3, just a tad bit too late. Take, 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 and not yet. Queen g5. This is a good move, and f5 is a good move too. So now we are in a scenario where black has got a clear-cut advantage as a result of these two pawns controlling every single important central square on the board. Also, there is an important difference between the two bishops. The d7 bishop is clearly superior to this one because it bites into granite, into its own pawn, and there is no real hope that this d5 guy is going to go anywhere anytime soon. Rook f1, rook f6. Now, in my opinion, this attack is a little bit too optimistic. It shouldn't succeed, but building up some sort of initiative on the king side is necessary anyway. King h8, well, I guess black has got all the time in the world, so it's fine. Bishop b1, h5, good. h4, very good. Again, this part of the game is played really, really well by black, especially compared to the opening, but in general grounds, the piece placement is perfect. Gaining space on the king side is perfect. Blockading our opponent's pawns on white on the bishop's color is perfect. So really black is doing particularly well here. e4 is another very bad positional mistake because it fixes another pawn on the color of the bishop. So now after f4, which was played in the game, you can see that now there are two, actually four, but these two are the most important ones. Pawns blocked, meaning they can't move on the bishop's color, which means that this bishop is becoming worse and worse. Whereas you can see that the scope of this bishop has been opened up even further. Well, this direction has always been open, but this one is now really nice, whereas this dude is a total bystander here. Okay, d4, that's a good move. Simply black should not respond to it, because as long as we don't do anything, we take back with the queen, and the 2 pawns are still stuck. Rook g6, rook f2, and queen g3 check. That's actually a very clever tactical trick. Sadly, it doesn't achieve anything, but that aside, it's a cool trick, because the idea, of course, is that if they take, then we have got check, and then we are winning the other rook, and with that the game very quickly too. But the problem with this check is that white is by no means forced to take it, and now there is nothing better than retreating with the queen. Well, it was still worth it, I reckon. Queen d3, queen h5, still trying to increase the pressure on those white squares. That said, I still don't see any imminent threats. c4. Of course, white is trying to change the structure in the center, where he has got the only hope to change the game, so these moves are actually good, and he should have done it faster. Rook g3, very good. Once again trying to build pressure. Rook f6. At this stage both sides play really, really well, in that they are trying to execute their most logical plans. b4. Now that is turning out to be a little bit too slow. So what I'm thinking of here for white is probably even playing c6. And if takes, then if bishop takes, then I can take on c6. And then I manage to stir the pot a little bit by creating a pass pawn on the other side of the chessboard. Whereas if they drop back, then again I'm thinking about take, and queen b3, and once again I might be able to penetrate with the queen and then pinch pawns, which is not really the ultimate response to being hacked on the king side, but at least it feels like we are doing something. b4 is a move that does absolutely nothing, and as such shouldn't have been played. Rook g6, takes. This should not occur really unless it wins on the spot. I mean, it keeps the pawn chain intact, but it also allows white to play d6, so now we really should be winning on the king side, which I'm not sure if we are. But anyway, let's have a look at what happened. Bishop c2, queen g5. Okay, so after so much building up, now finally we are threatening to take this pawn. So white has to respond to that. Queen e2, and that is a very bad blunder. But I'm not sure if actually this position was holdable, which means that, by the way, d takes e5 is probably the correct response here. So queen g5, because the main problem is that after queen f3 we still have this bishop takes h3 trick that happened in the game. Bishop takes h3, a beautiful tactics really. The idea is that after takes, which is pretty much forced, if I take here, h takes back, the rook is hanging on f2, so yeah, white can't take on h3, and if the rook moves, bishop drops back, for example, rook here, bishop back, and then it's gonna be mate. So taking was almost forced, and it allowed a beautiful checkmate by check. And then this is an ultimate scenario where it's a reasonably easy puzzle to solve in a way that I call the wishful thinking. Because you just say to yourself, I wish I didn't have this rook on the board at all, and then queen g1 mate would work. So then the next thing you look at is to get rid of with this rook with a check, and that's exactly what black did, check and checkmate. So to summarize the game, it was a really poorly played opening on both sides that then was followed up with really, really good and consistent play by black in the middle game, all the way to the end. A very logically built up massive kingside attack, increasing the space advantage, fixing weaknesses, really overall good play. And actually white's defense was quite decent for a while, trying to break the center open, and then it just got too soft in the end. But yeah, in general I think it was quite a good quality game, so I'm very glad that Resignb4uWhine sent it in, and I could post it on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching.